For 3 weeks, Jacob searched for her. Now fate had finally put Julie in front of him, but it forgot to warn him about one thing. The truth was about to become very complicated. Jacob caught the bus. For a moment, he simply stood on the footboard, breathing heavily. Relief flooded through him. He had done it. After weeks of searching, missed chances, and endless disappointment, he had finally caught up with her. The conductor looked at him impatiently and signaled him to move inside. Jacob climbed into the crowded bus and immediately looked toward the front. There she was, Julie, standing near the ladies' section because all the seats were occupied. A smile appeared on Jacob's face. He reached for his wallet to buy a ticket. Unfortunately, he found only a 500 rupee note. No change. The conductor looked irritated the moment he saw it. Ticket? He asked. Jacob handed over the note. The conductor frowned. Where are you going? Jacob blinked. That was a very good question. He had absolutely no idea. Where is this bus going? He asked. The conductor stared at him. You don't know where the bus is going and still board it? Jacob pointed toward Julie. I want to go wherever she's going. The conductor looked at him as if he had lost his mind. Yeah, right. Another fellow following girls. Don't you have a job? Jacob merely smiled. Nothing the conductor said could ruin his mood today. He took the ticket and moved toward the front. At the next stop, a few passengers got down. Julie finally found a seat. Jacob stood beside her, one hand holding the rail while pretending to be busy on his phone. A few seconds later, he turned dramatically. Hi, how are you? Julie looked up. For a moment, confusion crossed her face. Jacob's heart sank. She didn't recognize him. After a few seconds, realization finally appeared. Oh, she pointed at him. You're the one who dropped me home from the children's home that day? Jacob nodded eagerly. Mr. She paused, unable to remember his name. That hurt more than he expected. Jacob, he supplied quickly. Please call me Jay. Julie smiled. Right, Jay. Then he asked, how come you're on this route? A seat beside her became vacant. She gestured toward it. Sit. Jacob's soul immediately left Earth and began orbiting Mars. He sat down. Julie adjusted her bag. I was staying in a hostel before I moved recently, she said. Everything suddenly made sense. The reason he never saw her again, the reason she disappeared from that locality. She continued. I now stay in Tirvanmur with a friend. The hostel food was horrible and they increased the rent. Jacob nodded sympathetically. Then she asked the question he feared. How come you're here? I thought you were one of those rich kids who owned a car. Jacob nearly choked. Car. The cursed car. If she discovered he was a CEO, this friendship might end even before it began. No, he lied smoothly. That was my friend's car. It was raining that day, so I borrowed it. Julie seemed satisfied. Then she remembered something. Didn't you donate money that day? Jacob swallowed. Yes. She looked impressed. You seem to do that often. Mother Catherine spoke very highly of you. Jacob nodded. I save money and help whenever I can. Technically true. Just not the whole truth. Julie smiled. Then came the next attack. So, where do you work? Jacob froze. Absolutely not. No CEO announcements today. I am looking for a job. Julie looked surprised. Really? Yeah. Which company? Jacob's brain stopped functioning. The first name that entered his head escaped before he could stop it. Fortune Developers and Solutions? The moment the words left his mouth, he regretted them. Julie turned toward him immediately. Fortune? Jacob's stomach dropped. That's where I work. Silence. The universe clearly hated him. Are you selected? She asked. Jacob somehow managed to nod. Almost. I'll know tomorrow. Julie smiled. I've been working there for 2 years, my first company. They selected me during campus interviews. Jacob stared at her. The girl he had searched for across Chennai had been working in his company all this time. Their company. His company. He wanted to bang his head against the nearest window. How was work? He asked. It was good, she replied honestly. Now the ownership has changed. Nobody knows who our new CEO will be. Jacob pressed his lips together to hide a smile. If only she knew. When the bus reached her stop, Julie said, That's my stop, and stood up. Jacob immediately stood too. They got down together. Julie looked around. Oh, you got down here too? Jacob nodded confidently. My house is nearby. Walking distance. Another lie. Julie smiled. Okay, see you around then. She started walking away. Jacob called after her. Wait. She turned. You once said we could be friends if we meet again. So, are we friends now? Julie laughed softly. I think we already are, aren't we? Then she turned and walked away. Jacob stood there, grinning like an idiot. His feet barely touched the ground. The moment she disappeared around the corner, he called Satish. The call was connected. Machi! Satish immediately groaned. Oh, what now? I spoke to her, da. Satish pulled the phone away from his ear. Jacob sounded as though he had won a national award. She works in Fortune. There was silence. Then an exhausted sigh. The same friend who had abandoned him in the middle of the traffic was now the happiest man alive. I didn't want to go to office without you, so I came home. Come fast. Later that evening, Jacob reached Satish's house and narrated every single detail, including the lies. Satish listened patiently, then stared at him. You told her you are unemployed? Jacob nodded. You told her you borrowed a car? Another nod. You told her you're attending interviews? Jacob smiled weakly. Satish closed his eyes. Wonderful. Jacob leaned forward. I'll join Fortune as your secretary. What? I'll work beside you. Nobody will know who I am. Satish stared at him in disbelief. You're the owner. I know. The CEO. I know. And you want to become my secretary? Jacob nodded. I want to know her properly before she knows who I am. For a long moment, Satish remained silent. Finally, he asked, What happens when she learns the truth? Jacob's smile faded. That question had been haunting him too. I'll tell her before the official announcement. Satish raised an eyebrow. You promise? I promise. Jacob meant every word. But fate had already started playing its games. Jacob had finally become Julie's friend. But friendships built on secrets rarely stay simple. Would he tell her the truth before fate exposed him? Or was his first lie about to become his biggest mistake? Stay right here with me for the next episode. This is Between Love and Truth, where love is deep and truth is deeper than we think. Thanks for listening.